This is the QTV Nightly News and I am Loli M. Kamara. Thanks for joining us. Here are the headlines. Friday, President Adama Barrow received Senegal's Prime Minister Ousmane Sonko at the State House in Banjul. On Friday, the Gambia Maritime Administration officially concluded its 5-day workshop on the blue economy, which was launched on Monday to raise awareness, develop and promote the Gambia's maritime opportunities. On the final day of her 3-day visit to the Kanife municipality, the mayor of Freetown, Yvonne Akisoya, visited the KMC Annex and Bakote Fish Market and Ice Plant. The government, through the Ministry of Justice, held the first conference on implementing the recommendations of the Fruit Reconciliation and Reparation Commission, TRRC. And in sports news, more than 100 runners, including some of the Gambia's elite long-distance runners, competed in the 11th edition of the Farafenni Half Marathon. Those were the headlines. Now the news in detail. In a significant diplomatic development today, Friday, President Adama Barrow received Senegal's Prime Minister Ousmane Sonko at the State House in Banjul. As QTV's Ousmane Jatta reports, the high-profile visit is aimed at strengthening the already cordial relations between the Gambia and Senegal, and he now reports.
Prime Minister Ousmane Sonko's motorcade arrived at the State House at midday and was received by Vice President Mohamed B.S. Jallow. Prime Minister Sonko and VP Jallow exchanged warm greetings, reflecting the mutual agreement between the two nations. Both leaders then headed straight to President Barrow's reception. President Barrow and Prime Minister Sonko then had a closed-door session. The two leaders focused on enhancing bilateral relations, discussing strategies to revitalize the already existing relationship. Vice President Mohamed B.S. Jallow and Prime Minister Sonko faced the media for a press briefing.
It's an honor and a privilege to welcome His Excellency the Prime Minister of Senegal to the Gambia for a 2-day working visit. This is after my visit to Dakar, where we had discussed the issues of the Senegal Government Secretariat, which was established in 2011. And part of the governance structure requires a consultative commission. Now, this consultative commission, the last meeting they had was in 2011. So we felt it's important to revive that commission because the relationship between these two countries is very, very strong, and we need to continue that.
ñëw jottalis ko nuyoo rakkam xaritam naataangoom di président Bassirou Diomaye Diakhar Faye waaye ànd ak lenn ci suñu gouvernement suñuy ministre ñëw feddali li nga xam ne mooy tànk yi nga xam ne gouvernement Sénégal.
The purpose of our visit is to discuss the plans of President Bassirou Diomaye Diakhar Faye to promote the peaceful relationship between the two sister nations. This relationship has gone up to the level of the Senegambia Confederation. That is why, since we assumed office, we have embarked on a series of bilateral engagements to agree on terms to strengthen the cordial relationship. The visit to the State House came a day after PM Sonko had been guest of honor at the investment forum organized by the Gambia Investment and Export Promotion Agency, GAIPA, and its Senegalese equivalent, APEC. After the press briefing, PM Sonko joined President Barrow to observe Friday prayers at the State House mosque. Imam Alhaji Mustafa Jallow preached about the need for good deeds and peaceful cohesion to promote development. After the Friday prayer, the two leaders exchanged greetings with religious leaders. Both leaders are keen to deepen economic collaboration and ensure greater stability in the region, particularly through joint initiatives. President Barrow's engagement with Senegalese Prime Minister Ousmane Sonko marks a key milestone in the renewed partnership between the Gambia and Senegal. Both leaders have reaffirmed their commitments to peace, stability, and economic growth in the Senegambia region. Osman Chata, reporting for QTV News from the state.
On Friday, the Gambia Maritime Administration officially concluded its 5-day workshop on the blue economy. It was launched on Monday to raise awareness, inspire stakeholder appreciation, and carve a roadmap for its development in the Gambia to promote maritime opportunities. It is expected to chart a path towards sustainable development. Mam Nabuka attended the closing, and this is her report.
The Blue Economy Workshop was part of the Gambia Maritime Administration's mandate to develop strategies that allowed the Gambia to benefit from its maritime resources. Throughout the 5-day deliberations, participants including government officials, policymakers, maritime experts, local community members and private sector representatives engaged in in-depth discussions and activities designed to teach and highlight the importance of the blue economy to the Gambia. Wandifa Sedi Lee, the Director of Marine Environment at the GMA, shared the insights gained during the workshop.
We have delved into the depths of the blue economy, exploring its immense potential and the critical need for sustainable practices. We have shared insights, discussed ideas, and suggested proposals that will pave the way for innovative solutions and the collaborative efforts to harness the opportunities that the Gambia's blue economy has to offer.
There is optimism from both organizers and participants that the insights gained from the workshop would lead to actionable strategies that will promote sustainable practices in fishing, tourism, and other maritime industries. Dr. Awal Bamanga, the resource person of the workshop, emphasized the significant need for policies to ensure that strategies are effective.
There's nothing you can drive without policy document. We need to also start thinking, how do we establish policy document for the Gambian maritime, for the Gambian blue economy sector? So we need to also reflect on the policy and what are the steps that we need to take to have a comprehensive policy document that will drive the Gambian blue economy.
Momodo LBS Drame, the head of the engineering department at the University of Science, Engineering and Technology, commended the Gambia Maritime Administration for crafting this initiative and ensuring its success.
Your dedication and meticulous planning have ensured a smooth and engaging experience for all of us. The resources and materials provided will undoubtedly serve as a foundation for our future initiatives in sustainable ocean management.
All participants who attended the 5-day program will be awarded a certificate acknowledging their invaluable input. Dr. Awal Bamanga, the resource person and consultant for the workshop, was given a special gift to thank him for his key participation in the success of the deliberations. The Gambia Maritime Association is hopeful that the momentum generated by this event will translate into concrete actions that will pave the way for a sustainable future for the nation's maritime sector. Mam Nabuka, reporting for QTV News.
The mayor of Freetown, Yvonne Akisoya, visited the KMC Annex and Bakote Fish Market and Ice Plant as part of her 3-day walking visit to Cardiff Municipality. Momodu Gajaka accompanied the delegation, and he now reports.
The visiting mayor was welcomed with vigorous dancing in a wonderful ambience by the Bakote market women, among them a group from Sierra Leone. Freetown Mayor Yvonne Akisoya was joyous as the women sang and showed their love. Other market women too welcomed her with songs. Mayor Akisoya visited various parts of the market and she shared her impressions.
Well, market women are so dynamic. They're just unconventional. They don't wait for you to say hello. They say hello to you. And walking through the market today, the last thing I was expecting was to hear people speaking Creole and calling me mayor. So I was there with Mayor Bensouda. Of course, he was hailed mayor, mayor, mayor. And then a group of women turned around and was like, "You're our mayor." So that was really pleasant, really fun and encouraging.
Canifing Municipality's Mayor Bensouda and Mayor Akisoya shared vision of transforming their respective cities resulted in a strong cooperation agreement signed in 2021 during Mayor Bensouda's visit in Freetown. The areas of cooperation include waste management, revenue mobilization, market infrastructure, public transportation, climate change, and affordable housing. Mayor Akisoya says their partnership has been mutually beneficial to both cities.
The idea of this visit has been experience sharing. South-South neighbor to neighbor, sister city to sister city, and it's been really effective. I think one of the things that we must never forget is that our similarities as cities in the Global South, cities in the sub-region, cities particularly in this West African region, means that if we're going to learn best practice, the first place to look is at our neighbor.
One of Kanifing Municipal Council's flagship development is the Mbalit project. Having waste collection trucks collecting waste across the municipality is one of the council's biggest achievements. Mayor Aki Sawyer visited the KMC annex where the fleet of waste collection vehicles are parked and shared her impressions of the project.
This morning we went to the Fleet Management Center, and again, very impressive. I remember when he told me he was going to buy a fleet of trucks, that they were going to take the bull by the horns. They didn't have the money, but they were going to buy them effectively on a lease basis. Today, I'm here, I've seen it, and he didn't make a mistake. I think we've been inspired.
Sierra Leone and the Gambia have long-standing political, educational, and cultural links. For decades, Forebe College has become a gateway to higher education for Gambians. Many Gambians left the country in search of greater economic possibilities in Sierra Leone's mining sector. The Gambia's Aku community shares cultural ties with Freetown's Creole people, of which Mayor Aki Sawyer is one. Mamudu Gajaga, QTV News.
We'll now go for a commercial break. When we return, we have some more local and sports news stories.
Introducing the Q-Smart and Q-Smart Plus, where innovation meets affordability. Capture life's precious moments with stunning clarity thanks to our high-resolution cameras. Enjoy uninterrupted performance with a fast processor and a long-lasting battery that keeps up with your day. The Q-Smart offers a 5.9-inch immersive display, powerful performance, and an all-day battery life, all for just $3,400. Plus get an incredible bundle of 15 gigabytes of data, 120 minutes of talk time, and 300 SMS absolutely free. Upgrade to the Q-Smart Plus featuring a faster processor and extended battery life and a larger 6.5-inch screen for just $4,000. With it, you receive a massive 30 gigabytes of data, 300 SMS, and 120 minutes of talk time completely free. All bundles are spread across a 3-month period. Don't miss out. Get your Q-Smart or Q-Smart Plus from QCell today. Discover the best in quality and value right here in the Gambia. Available at all QCell customer care centers across the country. For more information, call 111. QCell Senior Bus. We innovate, others follow.
Welcome back, and this is QTV News. The government, through the Ministry of Justice, held the first conference on implementing the recommendations of the Fruit Reconciliation and Reparation Commission's TRC. The conference was a chance to access the ongoing progress on the implementation of the 263 TRC recommendations and to discuss the challenges and opportunities faced in achieving justice and reconciliation. Yafa Tugay tells us more in this report.
The TRRC, established in 2018 to investigate the human rights violations committed during the 22-year rule of former President Yahya Jammeh, made 265 recommendations aimed at addressing the legacy of the ex-President Yahya Jammeh's regime, promoting national healing and preventing future abuses. The Gambian government accepted 263 of these recommendations, reinforcing its pledge to pursue comprehensive reparations for victims, hold perpetrators accountable, and implement reforms. One of the central highlights of the conference was the review of the 263 recommendations and the progress made in their implementation. The conference was informed that 16 recommendations have been fully implemented, marking noble achievements in the areas such as victim reparations, the establishment of support system for survivors, and the integration of TRRC findings into the country's legal and policy framework. Here is Ida Person, the Special Advisor on the Transitional Justice for the Minister of Justice.
16 recommendations have been fully implemented. 192 recommendations are ongoing, which I think is fantastic, and 55 recommendations have yet to commence. That is the status of implementation.
Sirandao, President of Alliance of Victim-Led Organizations, AVLO, explained the challenges the victims continue to face and the need for the rapid implementation of these recommendations.
What does this mean when it comes to the daily lives of the victims, who are the reason why we're here today? What does it mean for them? The slow pace of implementation is an understatement for them. We have the saying in all of that, Kuhif, sokonera hasul, tanko toy. If one is hungry and wants to eat and you ask them to wait and wash their hands, it would be a challenge for them. For them, most of them suffering in pain, especially this time of the year, and a lot of them having difficulty accessing medication.
Dauda A. Jallo, the Minister of Justice and Attorney General, says the conference shows the government's commitment to ensuring that justice is served and the voices of the victims are heard.
As a government, we are steadfast in our commitment to implementing the TRRC recommendations outlined in the white paper. This includes pursuing institutional and legal reforms to strengthen governance, protect human rights, and prevent future abuses. Our vision is a new Gambia founded on accountability, justice, and respect for human rights and the rule of law. These efforts are not motivated by pursuit of praises, but by the imperatives of justice, the call of history, and the demands of our shared humanity.
The conference also highlights the recent decision by the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, to establish a special tribunal for the Gambia to prosecute individuals responsible for gross human rights violations. This heroic move is expected to play a pivotal role in the attainment of justice for victims and survivors, and also to bolster the TRRC's recommendations, ensuring accountability for those who committed atrocities during the Jammeh regime. Reporting for QTV News, this is Yafatu Gay.
The Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, FAO, has organized a two-day workshop on science policy, society interface, SPSI, to strengthen agri-food systems in the Gambia and to foster more resilient, inclusive and sustainable agri-food systems in the country. Yafatu Gay again.
The Gambia faces a range of challenges in its agriculture sector, from climate change, food insecurity, to limited access to technology and markets. The SPSI initiative represents a crucial step towards creating solutions that are both scientifically sound and responsive to the needs of the people by facilitating collaborations among researchers, policymakers, and local communities. The workshop seeks to create a more integrated approach to addressing these challenges, ensuring that agricultural practices are informed by scientific evidence and tailored by the realities on the ground. The SPSI project is designed to bridge the gap between research, policy development, and societal needs in the agricultural sector. Here is what Khadija Jallo from FAO and Dr. Nicole De Paula, the technical officer with the UN Food System Coordination Hub, has to say about the crucial need for the transformation of the country's agriculture food system and to ensure long-term sustainability, resilience, and food security.
Changing the way we approach agriculture is no longer an option, it's a necessity. This change is necessary to increase crops, yields, or production and sustainability.
So in essence, this agriculture is really a foundational part of our food systems, but the system as a whole extends far beyond just growing crops or raising livestock. Includes the system and process that ensure also that food reaches people in an equitable, efficient, and sustainable way.
Carl Frederick Paul, the UN resident coordinator, says the UN remains committed to supporting the Gambia to achieve food system transformation and its agricultural agenda.
Through our programs, we will continue to support the integration of our scientific research into decision-making and promote sustainable development practices.
Babukar Bui, the Minister of Public Service, highlighted the Gambia's food system transformation agenda.
The food system transformation agenda in the Gambia has been preceded by a thorough, concerted, inclusive and consultative engagements of all stakeholders at the regional and national levels, resulting to a pathway and a roadmap to transform the food system and leverage the power of food to catalyze the attainment of the 17 Sustainable Development Goals by the year 2030.
The outcomes of the two-day workshop are expected to inform future policies and practices in the Gambia, with a focus on ensuring that the country's food system are sustainable, climate resilient, and accessible to all, particularly vulnerable groups such as women and youth engaged in agriculture. Reporting for QTV News, this is Yafatu Gay.
Now to sports news. More than 100 runners competed in the 11th edition of the Farafenni Half Marathon Run. Some of the Gambia's elite long-distance runners had a tough battle over the 21-kilometer half marathon and the 10 kilometers. Our sports reporter Momodu Gajaga attended and he now reports.
21-kilometer half marathon set off on a moderate speed. Among them, Etienne Obega, who would eventually win, making it a hard trick of victories, leading Cristiano Mendy and Samba Ba, all of whom were among the favorites to win the major prize. In long-distance running, the longer the race, the more difficult it becomes, as could be seen in the faces of the runners. Etienne Obega rushed to the finish line, completing a hat trick by winning the 21 kilometers Farafenni Marathon for the third time in a row.
I am so excited. I wasn't expecting to win, but thank God I have won. It was very tough because this one everybody came in. The great Samba, Cristiano, Seni Song, and everybody. It was a tough one. They gave me a tough time, and I managed to escape here at the hospital. So it wasn't easy.
The 10 kilometers race was another fierce contest amongst the runners in this category. One surprise was the eventual winner of the race, Mamadou Aliou Ba, who used to compete in the half marathon. He cited fitness issues for not competing in the longer distance, and his decision to go instead for the shorter distance proved to be the right one, as he won the 10 kilometers race in spectacular fashion.
Actually, I'm so much grateful and thankful to the Almighty Allah. I'm so much happy and grateful that I was able to compete and win so comfortably. I'm so much happy and pleased with myself. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen.
There was also a 5-kilometer category, a 1-kilometer walk race called the Wahoo Race. Omar Mboob, Deputy Managing Director of Trust Bank, thanked the Farafenni community for staging another successful half marathon.
We would like to thank the people of Farafenni. We would like to thank the organizing committee. We would also like to thank the media for your presence and coverage in this. And we would like to congratulate the participants The Gambia Police Force, like Seni said now, they can run fast and they can sustain it for a very long time. So if you are hoping that your legs can actually make you escape from the theft, be careful. They can actually catch you up.
The Farafenni annual half marathon run has been a consistent event in the community's calendar. It brings the Farafenni community together to celebrate, dialogue, and discuss pertinent issues through sports. Yusufa Jambe is the chairman of the Farafenni Marathon Association.
Today is been to another level again, and I'm grateful to everybody who's come along to support the day, who's giving us donations, our sponsors, Trust Bank, Ajib Bank, Standard Bureau, and friends and family. That's the youths and sons and daughters of Farafenni. But you can see yourself, people are still out enjoying themselves.
Winners of this year's run were beaming with smiles with a massive increase in prize money. The winner of the 21-kilometer category receiving $60,000, $50,000 for the runner-up, and $40,000 for the third place. With such incentives, it is very likely the field will be swelled even further next year. Momodu Gajaga, QTV News.
That's all for now in this news bulletin. Join us tomorrow at 8 p.m. for another news. Until then, it's a bye from me.